Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight, you guys had to know it wasn't going to be long. I gave you some videos that weren't the Iowa. Well, guess what? We're back in the Iowa because I love this ship. So we're on a map that I'm not that familiar with, but I have learned that when I'm on this map, it's best to just kind of hang out if you spawn center. And you'll see what I mean in a moment. At first, I start to move, and then I realized where I'm at. And then I'm like, oh, hold on. I'm going to have some battleships sailing broadside to me in a moment. I think I'll just hang out. Be a little patient. See where that gets me. Now, I'm not going to lie. I don't recommend doing what I'm about to do, but it works out for me in this situation because neither of these guys decide that I'm a threat. And you know how that's going to end. So, let's see what we got. We've got a Colorado who's going to be broadside, but we also have a nice juicy Iowa. So we go ahead, put shots out on the Iowa, and wait for it. Looks good. And we get a nice solid hit. 7,700 damage, nothing to sneeze at. Not a Citadel. Preferably would like to get a Citadel. I mean, it is an Iowa, so it's kind of begging for it. Let's be real. Everybody likes to say that the Iowa's overpowered, and in certain cases it definitely can be. But this ship gets citadeled more than any other battleship in the game, I think. Why? Because it's long and its citadels are easy to penetrate. Just like this. There's our first citadel of the game. So, yeah, he's down to about 2/3 of his health, and he's just gonna keep sailing broadside. I don't know why. I really don't. And the Colorado's not even shooting at me. It's kind of like they just don't care that I exist. Well, when I'm firing 16-inch guns, that is 406mm guns for those of you who are of the metric variety, it's only gonna be a matter of time before the paddlings ensue. Wait for it. Pow! So we start the game off taking 60,000 damage from that Iowa. That's a good start. That is a very, very good start. So, what are we going to get to next, I wonder? Well, we've got that Colorado still over here, so maybe we'll go test our luck against the Colorado. What do you guys think? But I'm spotted by the plane, most likely the Iowas, so it's going to be short-lived. And then I'm spotted by a ship, but I don't see anything. So that, to me, tells me that there's probably a destroyer out here. And, wait for it. Hey, look, a destroyer! How you doing? We put a shot out. It's armor-piercing, but it doesn't matter because you're going to hit him multiple times from this close. And we do actually get a nice penetration. Several, actually. Taking our damage total up to 65,000. So we got about 5,000 damage off of that destroyer, which is a huge chunk of health to lose as a destroyer when you don't get that much to begin with. But now we have a Colorado who's beached himself and his broadside on, and I don't know, just seems like a bad plan when there's an Iowa afoot. Or any other battleship at that point. I mean, we're 11 kilometers out. This is prime Citadel territory. And there we go. Just took half of his health with that volley. That's not preferable for him. And watch, he immediately starts running. Now, I'm assuming I'm getting fired at, and he does actually fire at me, so I start moving. And, inconsequential. Doesn't really do much damage to me. But now, unfortunately, that puts me behind the mountain, so I can't shoot him. And then this Blizkawika. That's what I'm going with. Blizkawika. I don't know how you pronounce it. I believe it's the Russian destroyer, is now sunk. I went ahead and marked him for my team, just in case they hadn't seen him. I wanted to make sure that they knew about him. Now, that Iowa out there concerns me a little bit. I don't want to go broadside to him because you guys have already seen what an Iowa will do to another Iowa. And honestly, any battleship at any of the top tiers, if you're broadside to them, you're gonna get paddled. This Colorado, no slouch. If you get broadside to a Colorado, it can and will absolutely punch you in the mouth because it has the same size guns as I do. So, 406 millimeters, 16-inch guns, However, he's broadside on, I have a mountain for cover, and he doesn't see this coming. Or maybe he does. Either way, he's dead. And we have taken 95,000 damage out of 3 ships. Not bad for just hanging out, huh? Now, there's still a destroyer over here on this right side. I want to say it's a Jervis, if I remember correctly, which means it has this uncanny ability to stack torpedoes on top of each other, because it can fire tube by tube. So it can literally fire every torpedo down the exact same path if it wants. Which means if you're in a battleship and you're trying to bow tank to avoid as many torpedoes as possible, these British destroyers are not what you want to be bow tanking, because they can and will stack them straight up on you, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it at that point. Now, that being said, they don't do it that often, which is preferable. But I just fired at that guy again, just trying to keep him honest, trying to keep him away from me, preferably. I just want him as far away from me as possible, because I do not want to get hit. Now, I'm sailing in a straight line towards him, so I assume he's going to be firing torpedoes that way. So I'm going to go ahead, try to cut to the inside between these 2 islands to be able to try to attack this Iowa. That's the plan, and that's what I'm going to do. Or at least attempt to do. So the Iowa is sailing away from us. It's not preferable. I was kind of hoping for a broadside shot, but it doesn't matter. We're going to be able to get some effective fire on him. Now, we get the first salvo off, and I believe I switched to high explosive for 2 reasons. One, he is stern tanking me at the moment. So armor piercing, while it's still possible to get good penetrations, it's just nicer to get a lot of fire damage on him from this point. The other is this freaking destroyer. I'm assuming that this destroyer is trying to kill me. So I have put this thing in stop, and I'm just slowing down because I do not want to just charge through that gap, because if there are torpedoes there, I don't want to get hit by them. Sounds pretty normal, right? And sure enough, there are torpedoes being fired or going behind me one way or the other. I don't know if it was my teammate firing them or if they were from the Jervis, but we definitely got torpedo signals there for a second. Now I aim ahead of the Jervis, and this is where I get frustrated against destroyers. I just hit him with 16-inch high explosives. Alright, that should have killed him. I don't care if only 1 round hits him. 16-inch high explosive. The thing gets annihilated by 203, which is 8-inch. Now, I do manage to take 1 torp on the nose here. No big deal. But I burned my damage control, stopped the flooding, and I don't have to worry about it. So, I notice he's trying to turn away from everybody, so I'm going to go ahead, aim out ahead, pull the trigger, just giving him a good, decent lead. He's turning, so it's making him slow down a lot. And when he slows down, he's an easy target. And we managed to set him on fire. And, of course, look at the other torpedoes. It's a good thing that I had already planned for that, huh? It's almost like I knew that would happen. However, if you've been watching the map, you'll notice very quickly I have a Japanese cruiser on my left, the Mogami. And this Japanese cruiser has another thing called torpedoes. And I'm assuming the torpedoes are coming, and there they are. So I immediately started turning. I started moving. And I'm going to try to complete the turn. Unfortunately, I'm not going to quite get turned enough to get between them. Almost pulled it off. But I'm going to flood for a minute. But that's okay, because we're about to pay him back. Ready for it? Shot out. Pow! All of his health evaporated with one shot of the front turrets. That's just absolutely disgusting. But he deserves it. I mean, you're 4 kilometers away from a battleship, and you're broadside on. As Jingles says all the time, sailing broadside to a battleship, that's a paddling. And indeed it was. We're up to 139,000 damage, just in case you hadn't noticed. Now, I am making a very bold move here. And by bold, it could be completely stupid, but as Jingles also says, if it's stupid but it works, then it's not really stupid. This guy just fired 2 sets of torpedoes at me, okay? That makes me think that he probably doesn't have any more torpedoes waiting for me when I come around this corner. And, am I correct? I would have seen him by now, and no torpedoes, and he's broadside on and beached. And that is the game. So what do we end up with, guys? I think I was pretty solid, if you ask me. And this isn't going to be the only World of Warships video today. I'm going to have another one because I was challenged. So, 148,000 damage, 3 kills, top of the leaderboard with a Jervis with 3 kills coming in close second. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.